My role within the organization actually is new. So I was brought on a little less than a year ago, and to create a sales operations and enablement group within Hyster-Yale Group, which didn't exist before. So for the last year, I've been kind of finding my way around the organization, understanding what are the goals, things that we need to do to help support the sales team. So there's a couple of obstacles. One for our internal, so our sales organization is made up of a national account sales team, and they call and work with the largest global companies that are out there, and that's about 20-30% of our business. And then the majority of the business comes from our dealer sales organization. So they sell about 70%, and here in North America, that's made up of 48 separate companies with about 700 salespeople. So one of the biggest challenges is how can we get the things that we need done to support 48 different companies and 700 salespeople to maximize the opportunity in the marketplace. Ours is extremely competitive, and it's not necessarily a high growth business. And there's some areas that historically we haven't been that strong in, but those happen to be the strongest growing markets within the overall business. So what has historically been our weakness is now the biggest opportunity. So that creates opportunity for us, but a little bit of a challenge of how do we get customers to see that we can play in that competitive marketplace where they maybe haven't seen us in that light in the past. So in our particular business, we have the widest range of services. So there are competitors that specialize in certain parts of the business, but we have a full service offering. So our ability to compete in all markets is there. It's just the issue of getting past where folks will consider that we maybe are not the best or the strongest player in one segment of the market, but our overall menu of solutions and the breadth of our product line is certainly a big competitive advantage. One of the other challenges that we have is there's been a lot of apparent problems that we've had with consistency of programs that we try to implement. The dealers will call it the flavor of the month or the flavor of the year. So when we try to implement those things, the level of adoption isn't usually where we need it to be because they think that this too shall pass. Right? So the key is having them understand that this is all part of a comprehensive plan to enhance our sales and marketing capability, and that these are not individual elements, but all the pieces will come together over the next couple years, and they'll continue to grow and expand. The biggest change has been the growth in different segments of the market. So because of the e-commerce boom, the part of the business that's warehousing and distribution has really taken off, and that's historically been the area that we are not perceived as the dominant player. But other areas that do play historically to our strengths, we've got the largest market share for what we call big trucks, which are the large cargo container unloading equipment that they have in ports around the country, but those are big investments, and the investments that companies have to make for that equipment, they're actually holding back with the election upcoming to see what happens with the economy and what's going to change. So some of those things are out of our control, but the biggest challenge is where the growth opportunity is. How can we maximize and grab more market share in that part of the market? I think it's being flexible to wherever the market drives us. In our particular area, there's not even growth throughout all areas. And most companies today are diversified, that they're in many different areas. So it's being nimble enough to be able to adapt to changing conditions in the economy, in the marketplace, and then where there are opportunities in front of you, how do you maximize and grab onto them? So I've been in the sales game 36 years, and 32 of those were leading sales teams, whether that's local, regional, national teams. And I've been through every training program that's out there. And I can honestly say that the power messaging approach and its potential benefit for a salesperson is by far superior to anything else that can impact their ability to separate themselves from their competition and engage the customer in an entirely different way that significantly increases their ability to succeed and maximize the opportunity with those customers.